Are you editing this, or is this just going to be put together? Because if so, I would cut that.
We'll see.
I would cut that.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Stories with Sweeney podcast, random conversations with interesting people. I'm John Sweeney. On today's show, I am joined by my brother, Tom. With the help of three somewhat random conversation starters, we get into the importance of having perspective, major life events, and if pandas are real. I didn't know that was a thing, but we talk about it. Be sure to like this video and support the channel by subscribing. And now, dear friends, my brother Tom, enjoy.
Well,
and then 2 rules.
no swearing.
No swearing, and we just avoid politics.
I have no intention to talk about politics. Well, you're the one writing the questions.
Fantastic. These shouldn't be political.
If we get into the Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Question 1.
Question 1.
What is one piece of advice that every person on the planet could benefit from hearing?
You said no swearing.
If you want to swear, I'm
not going to swear.
Later.
No, I'm not going to swear.
One piece of advice that
every single person on the planet could benefit from hearing.
Yes. I feel like you would have lots of advice that people would hear.
I would have lots of advice, but most of my advice would be so that people don't bother me. Because I have a lot of things that I don't like. Like, we were talking about it earlier today, about if you are in the left lane,
oh yeah,
the left lane is for crime. So if you are going to be in the left lane, whatever.
I don't understand this saying the left lane is for crime.
Because
you're saying because you shouldn't be on the left lane.
No, if you are going to be in the left lane,
you should be committing crimes.
You can be in the left lane. If the posted speed limit is 70, you don't go 70 in the left lane.
You should go like 73, 75,
right,
78.
Which is over the posted speed limit.
Oh, so
which means you are breaking the law by going faster than you're supposed to.
I get it now.
Yes.
That's a silly thing to say.
It's not.
I don't think
it's
the world
funny,
will
and you will remember it. Yes, it is. It will.
I will remember that forever, and that's what kind of makes me mad.
Oh, see, I don't know. I mean, that's because there are a couple different. You could go a lot of different ways when we're talking about what's advice that it could be super deep and philosophical. It could be like silly. It could be. I mean,
what do you
got? A lot of different ways. Oh man, just one piece of advice.
One piece of advice. Here's the scenario. The scenario is
I'm king.
No, you're not king.
I'm not king.
You have been tapped by the king of the world.
Which is not me.
Not you.
Okay.
You're a peasant. And he says to you, I am going to give you this opportunity to give a piece of advice to every single person on earth. One chance.
Right. How? Okay.
Yeah.
This might get, but I won't. That's okay. I don't know how to phrase it. Like, basically, you are in control of your mood, and you shouldn't let other people affect you from the outside.
Ooh, that's good.
Because one of the things that I think right now, and I'm not going to get into, whatever, is everybody is just offended easily.
By everything.
And they're offended by everything. They're affected by everything. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, it's like, you can't let people affect you. Like, you affect your mood. Like, you are in control of your mood. You are in control of yourself. Don't let other people affect you. And don't expect other people, just because you have certain feelings, to kind of tied into that, doesn't mean that they have to have those same feelings.
It's true.
And that's okay. So being in control of yourself, you affect your mood. Don't let it affect other people.
That's very good.
Thank you.
I think the king of the world would be very happy that you have given this advice to people.
I will be coming for him soon, because I wish to be king of the world.
And that's the one piece of advice that I have to the king of the world.
I'm interested.
Watch your back, whoever you are. My piece of advice. I should have thought of this before, but I really didn't know what the question was.
I was going to say, am I supposed to ask follow-up questions?
You can ask. You can do whatever you want.
Oh.
You can do whatever you want.
Except for swear.
And talk about politics.
Yeah. See, we did the thing.
Yeah. Brothers.
So what is your piece of advice then?
I think my piece of advice, yours was so good. Like, that was just you control. I think my piece of advice would be have perspective. Have a little more perspective. And it's kind of in the same vein as yours. Yeah. But I find that, and I'm guilty of this too, I think we all are, everything is a big deal.
Yep.
Every single thing is a big deal. And there are days where I'm really good about like, oh no, it's fine, everything's fine. There are other days when like someone will cut me off in traffic and the murderous thoughts that come into my head, and I have to like stop myself and be like, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Have a little perspective in the grand scheme of things. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Maybe that person was going to the hospital to see a dying
Yeah.
loved one. Okay, fine. Just have a little perspective.
Yeah.
I think that would be my piece of advice. Have a little perspective.
I like that because we tell each other the worst, or ourselves the worst story about other people, where they are cutting me off in traffic because they're evil.
But we
it's
give
like we don't know.
ourselves
Yeah, but we don't know what's going on.
tons of grace
Yeah.
to ourselves.
Yeah.
Whereas we should be more like David Goggins to ourselves.
I don't know if I don't want him to lie. I don't want to say anything bad about David Goggins.
He'll come for you.
How many people
I think
watch?
he might be the
or-
king of the world.
He well, if so, then that explains a lot.
Stay high.
But yes, but yeah, I don't know. It's just one. Yeah, I don't.
Perspective.
Yeah, perspective. And then when you're in it, it's very hard to do that. But I think that, not everything is a big deal. There are things that are, but not everything is. And I think that that's a good perspective. I like that. That's good.
Words to live by. All right.
All right.
Do you feel like you've exhausted that one? You want to move to question 2?
Sure.
All right. Question 2. If you had to live as an animal for 1 year, which one would you choose and why?
Dog.
That was fast.
Hands down.
Why?
Dog. Are you kidding me? Someone feeds you all the time.
Yeah.
Air conditioning, unconditional love. In a good situation.
If you're in a good situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we're adding conditions, like, then that would be one of them. But yeah, dog. Are you kidding me? Oh, naps all the time.
Oh, that's
Everyone's
true.
happy to see you as long as you don't bite them.
It occurs
Which
to
is
me-
also good advice. Don't bite people.
Don't bite people?
Yeah.
Unless they deserve it.
Like today, how many dogs did we see today?
We saw 2 dogs.
3, but
There were
2 that
3.
we
I didn't
interacted
see the
with.
third dog, but there were...
Everyone was so happy to see the
It's
dogs.
true. Immediately, their day was improved.
They want to play with them. They want to pet them. Everyone loves them. They're so cute.
Was it unusual
Dogs.
that dog was playing fetch with a rock? I've never seen a dog play fetch with a
No,
rock.
but we didn't know that there was a ball there. Had we known that there was a ball,
He didn't
to
seem
throw,
interested, or she didn't seem interested
Yeah.
in the ball. She wanted the rock.
And then after we
Maybe
were-
she plays basketball.
maybe. Duh. Are you editing this, or is this just going to be put together? Because if so, I would cut that.
We'll see.
I would cut that. But no, I mean, and after it was
a
nice
good
that she, because I
answer.
did not throw the rock initially, and then after we were done with the rafting, the dog came and brought me the rock,
Oh, and you threw it,
and I threw it.
and it was nice.
It was and it made me happy. The dog was happy. You don't overthink because
Yeah.
you're thinking sleep, food.
That's it.
That's all you need.
It occurs to me that the animals that immediately popped into my mind are all hunted, and that would be terrible, actually.
I mean, something that would fly, I think, is legitimate. That maybe can't be hunted.
But then you'd be shot down.
Well, no, you can't be hunted. So something protected would be nice.
Oh, like an endangered species. Or something.
Yeah. I mean, and,
But
and,
then
you know,
have
pros
so,
and cons.
But
'cause
then you
you're
have
not
few
gonna-
friends.
Yeah.
You have so few friends.
And if you're looking for a significant other, then that's probably not going to happen.
Do you think that all the pandas are like, oh, where did everybody go?
Well, pandas aren't real. So
Pandas aren't real.
No, pandas are not.
What?
I don't actually believe that, by the way, but it's just funny. That's
Well, I've heard that birds aren't real, but pandas aren't.
That
real?
is my latest favorite conspiracy theory is that pandas are not real because it all stemmed from when they in the zoo in China where they painted the dogs to look like baby pandas.
I do
and
remember
it
this.
expanded into this whole thing that pandas are not real.
Pandas aren't real.
Have you ever seen a panda?
Yeah.
Have you been close to a panda?
The DC Zoo several years ago.
How close were you? Could you
Pretty-
tell?
It was pretty far away.
Could you tell? See?
It could have been a man and a panda.
Other animals, you're going to be up super close in the panda. I don't actually believe that, by the way. But
He does.
It is fun. I do not.
He 100% believes that.
If we want to talk about conspiracy theories, we can go down that rabbit hole. But that is not one that I would. If I had to like hitch my wagon or die on that hill of a conspiracy theory, that's probably not it.
Do you find with like conspiracy theories, like it's funny when you bring them up to some people, they don't. I think conspiracy theories are just like fun. Like they're fun, kind of a funny thing to think about.
Yes.
But then you encounter someone who they don't think they're funny at all. They are really invested in these
Yes.
conspiracy theories. And then it's not fun because you realize
It is their life.
oh,
It is their
he
real
thinks
life that they are living. Yeah. No, I
What-
agree with that.
What's a conspiracy theory that you think might be true?
It involves a brand, and so I don't want to say it
Oh,
on here.
I see.
But there are stores that sell like mattresses, you know, and if you look at a map, and I'm not going to say which one it is, there are always
We know which
3 or 4 in very close proximity to each other.
100% right. And there's always a guy sitting
Money laundering.
outside of that store.
I don't know about that. but-
Everyone I've seen, he sits outside the store, he plays with his phone, and when you drive by or drive up, he goes,
No.
Like, are they going to come in here?
He
doesn't
challenge-
want you to come in
And
here.
that's my challenge would be go into one of those establishments
I've been
and
in them.
ask them questions about mattresses. And I'm guessing that their depth of
They
knowledge
don't know
is pretty shallow.
Well, if you need to sleep,
Yeah.
you should sleep on a
Yeah.
mattress.
So they're money laundering schemes. That's what they are. And that's why they're in close proximity to each other.
That's a sound conspiracy theory that I think I'm on board with as well. This
I like that
theoretical, whatever brand chain
It's a fun one.
it is. That is a fun.
Stay in school, kids.
More words to live by. Okay, great. All right, fine. Oh, this ties in question 3. Hey, but before we get to that, I wanted to tell you something. If you enjoy random conversation starters or just interesting facts that could prompt nice conversation, you've come to the right place. Stories with Sweeney. We put out short videos all the time with interesting polls and surveys that are designed to prompt conversation and hopefully stimulate some thought. So be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to get our short videos. They're really good. I promise you won't be disappointed. Okay, anyway, that's enough of the plug. Remember, subscribe to Stories with Sweeney. That's it, okay? Now, back to the conversation. This ties in. What event changed your perspective on life? I have one that you actually gave me that I can share first if you want to.
I gave you an event or I caused the event?
No, you shared this with me, and then the same thing happened to me, and I was like, "Oh, he's right. It's totally different."
Having kids,
Yep.
I'm sure.
100%.
But that's everybody says that.
Well, no, because when you first told me that, I thought at the time I was like, "No, everyone says that.
Yeah.
Of course, I can identify and have compassion for people." And I had nieces and nephews at the time, and it was like, "Oh, I'm sure it's fine." And then you have a kid, and you're like, "Oh, this is totally different."
It does. Yeah, it changed. Yeah. I mean, that's obviously a big one, but I feel like a lot of people
So you want to reach to something?
would say that.
more
Yeah. It's just like, what are we talking? Like an event or something in my life or just something like overall? Because
Your life, you.
I mean, like there are. I mean, if we're talking like big picture stuff, I'm gonna be terrible. But like, if you're talking about like big picture, like, I mean, there are a lot that could be
Like
that
what?
could fit into that. I mean, I don't know. Like something like, when we were in high school, something like 9/11 changes your perspective on the world.
Very true.
Because you all of a sudden think, oh, holy cow, like they can, like
Yeah.
things can happen here too, and then it
Yeah.
kind of changes that. A lot of things in my own life that would probably shape my personality, which is whatever. I think a big one.
Your personality is not whatever.
No, I mean like
You have
it,
a dynamic
it changes how
personality. You light up a room when you walk into it.
I don't, but thank you. I don't know. I mean, like there are a lot of different things that because you are kind of a composite of all these different events that happen to you and that happen around you, and so that's going to impact your thing. I'd say one that kind of within the last, I'm trying to think of how I would say it. It changed the perspective. So that was a question, right? How it changed my perspective on things?
Something. What event changed your perspective on life?
So one of the big ones I would say recently that is not like affecting most people is effectively getting kicked out of grad program and being told that I would never make a contribution to the field that I was trying to get into, that I wasn't smart enough, good enough, would never finish. Are you going to give a bio of who I am and what I do?
No.
Oh, okay.
All I'm saying is you're Tom and you're my brother. Which
Okay.
people can surmise.
Yeah, we kind of look the same and sound
Fairly
the same
easily.
and do that. But no, like, so when that happens, when like you're working toward, it was a 4-year program and I was almost done and got pulled into, I mean, you at the end, like, or in the middle, it was after 3 years. So year three, after year 3 of a 4-year program, done well. And then being told that you're not good at it, that you're not, and like, and especially when when you think that you're doing well and you think you're doing what you're supposed to do. And it does, it kind of changes your perspective on how, especially I'm in education and, how it changes how I kind of viewed myself in that field for a long time and my relationship with other people, because it kind of changed. Like, you think that some people are there to help you and that kind of changes that. For me, it opened my eyes to see that not everybody that I'm working with, that I'm associating with, that I'm interacting with is there to help me, to forward me, to help me, lift me up or whatever. And that kind of changed it. I was kind of in that like bubble of like, oh, if I have a problem, then they will help me and fix it. And it didn't. So it kind of changed my perspective. And then it gave me major imposter syndrome.
But see, I would consider you to be a fairly positive person.
Thank you.
And an experience like that, I could see where it would make a person cynical but I didn't ever see you get cynical.
Well, and I didn't.
You had moments of it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that like I chose to project or show to the world is going to be different than like at home. Like I'm not going to have that.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not a crier, so I'm not going to do that. But I did try to like, I think for me it was like a whole like, what am I going to do now type of a thing. Because like I said, I mean, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I thought I was good at. And then when you have, like I still have the letter actually, and I'm not like one of those like, I'm going to hang it up and remind myself every day. But I still have it.
David Goggins.
There you go. And to have somebody sit like to read on paper people telling you that you're not good. Like it does kind of that. It's like, okay, so not everybody is like, and that's good in a way because I think it helped me to work harder and get to where I am. Because part of it was trying to prove them wrong, but also part of it was kind of like, can I actually do this? And I thought, well, yeah, I do want to do this. I can do it. And so, it helped me as well. So it did. It changed my perspective, good and bad. And we could do a whole.
Well, we could do a whole thing, and then we're coming close. But I do have a follow up to that, and it's sort of a combination of the very first question we asked. What piece of advice would you give someone who finds themselves in a similar situation, not necessarily in academia or anything like that, but where they thought they were going a particular way, they thought people were there to help them, and then all of a sudden an event kind of blows it up? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I mean, and I think it's really, if you really take a step back and try to objectively look at what is happening, like reevaluate. Are they right? Or are there things I need to work on? Are there things like, what can I learn from this to either change my course, or what can I change moving forward to help me get to that level to do that thing? That'll be it.
No.
I mean, if you were talking like a not serious thing, if we're going to talk, like one big thing that changed my perspective was playing. This is completely off the topic, but when growing up playing in like a first national golf tournament.
Oh yeah,
and being like, whoa, this is
a whole other level.
Yeah, I'm good here. Like, and then I get here, it's like, whoa, yeah,
that's a big jump.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, but even that, like, that kind of ties in though, because then you kind of choose, like, okay, do I think I'm good at this? If I think I'm good at this, what can I do moving forward?
Well, and it's good to have those, because if you go through anything, whether it's career or life or whatever, thinking that you are just the top notch, and you don't see someone who can, or you don't get humbled in some way, some ways are more traumatic than others, then you're never going to have an opportunity to grow anyway.
Right. And that's a good point. Like, setbacks are not a bad thing.
No.
It is okay to have a setback.
No. I had a similar thing where I lost employment and had a similar moment to you where I was like, what am I going to do now? And especially when it's actually kind of very similar, where you thought people who were there to help you, who were going to not save you, but kind of catch you and teach you. Yeah. You realize we're like, oh, they don't care at all.
Nope. Yeah.
And then you go, well, what do I do with that? And I found, very similar to you, I can either lie down and feel sorry for myself, or okay, cool, next thing. Let's do the next thing.
Yeah, and I think that, like, in my situation, it's also changed my perspective on how I interact with other people who are in the similar position to me, where I want to be honest with them, but I also want to make sure that if I can help them, I will do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, it kind of, those...
Gives you perspective.
Yeah, those little events change a lot of stuff. Change your perspective on things.
All right. Well, we're hitting time. Any last bits of wisdom? That's okay.
No,
I think it's fine.
I could talk. I like, once I get talking, I could talk a lot. So, but no.
What's your feelings on vegan meatloaf?
Why? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's fine for some people, but when a restaurant that I enjoy takes my favorite dish off the menu and replaces it with that,
that's what
then
it was.
I have an issue with that. But I'm sure it's
do
fine.
that?
Enjoy your vegan meatloaf, but it's not really meat.
No, but
so
who
I
would
shouldn't
do that? So
I don't know.
it was real meatloaf. And
No,
then
it wasn't even. No, it wasn't.
No,
even
and then
meatloaf.
they replaced it with vegan.
No,
meatloaf.
it wasn't meatloaf that they replaced. They took my pot roast,
What?
and then now it is vegan meatloaf.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. But if you do want that, good for you. But again, don't. That's what you want. That's not what everybody
And if
wants.
that happens to you, have a little perspective, and it'll be okay.
I won't say what I was going to say.
I was about to stop recording. Are you sure you don't want to?
I want this to go well, and I don't want you to be put on a watch list. So
I think the conspiracy theory thing already did that.
oh no, this is not a conspiracy. It's a pretty simple action that you can take. But
On that note. Well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed hearing me and my brother Tom. Could you tell we're related? It's kind of obvious. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video too, and watch out for the short videos that we put out on a regular basis. That's it. Stories with Sweeney podcast. My name is John Sweeney. Thank you for joining us.